What's going on, guys? I'm Jake the Lawn Kid. Welcome to the last video of the 2019 lawn season. So what I'm going to do today is I'm going to take you guys on a trip down memory lane. We're going to take a look at all the treatments we've done to the lawn here in 2018. I'm going to show you guys the good, the bad, the ugly. With that, enough rambling. Enjoy. Our journey starts in late February. Unfortunately, we started off the season with a lot of snow, about 10 inches to be exact. This isn't good as it can wreak havoc on the lawn. It causes disease. To be more specific with that, it causes snow mold. Luckily, I was able to cure this problem by getting out on the warmest days and doing some raking. Raking the lawn helped increase airflow, which cured the disease. Fast forward to late March, our first application of the season. Here we applied our early season crabgrass Pre-Emergent, which was the granular 007 per diamine from Do My Own, and I applied that at 5 pounds per thousand. No worries, we stayed within the yearly maximum. 3 weeks later, I applied my first app of starter fertilizer, which was a 12-12-12, and I applied at 4 pounds per thousand, which gave me a ½ pound of nitrogen, as well as my first official dose of Green County N-Ext products. Here I applied RGS at 6 ounces per thousand, Aerate at 9 ounces per thousand, and D-thatch at 9 ounces per thousand. This first app was a great way to jumpstart the soil, loosen it, push deeper roots, break down excessive thatch, and increase overall nutrient availability. Bam! Slit, pour, spread. A week later, I followed up with a heavy dose of Milo at 15 pounds per thousand, delivering me just under 3/4 pound of nitrogen, as well as another app of RGS at 3 ounces per thousand to stimulate more root growth. As time went on, I noticed a rapid green up. However, as the lawn got greener, weeds started to encroach. This was no problem for me as I was able to control them using best practices such as integrated pest management. Boom! Zorched. Then I started mowing my lawn lower and more frequently than usual in an attempt to abolish the severe problem of quackgrass. In conclusion, while it didn't abolish the problem completely, it did suppress it. In addition, one problem I faced while doing so was a scalped appearance of an annual bluegrass problem I had as well. I guess that's my punishment for not putting down a Pre-Emergent last fall. On Memorial Day weekend, I applied my second app of Milo at 15 pounds per thousand. This was the new 2018 formula, so nitrogen went up from 5% to 6%. If we do the math, we'll learn that that provides us 0.9 pounds of nitrogen. That's a lot of nitrogen. In addition, I applied RGS at 3 ounces per thousand, as well as an application of Green Effect. This was another product from the N-Ext line, and the idea is it contains iron, which will make your lawn dark green, baby. I also applied my late spring Pre-Emergent, which was granular dithiopyr at 3 pounds per thousand. As I've mentioned before, dithiopyr is better for late season control as it will provide post-emergence on early crabgrass. On the first week of June, I applied my insecticide app, which was the Bayer Granular, to prevent our nuisance pets such as grub worms and sod webworm. I applied at 3 pounds per thousand square feet. During these first couple of weeks, I noticed a rise in the humidity and a decrease in the rain. This resulted in a shriveled appearance of the lawn as well as a few disease lesions here and there. To compensate, I rose my cutting height to 3.5 inches and I started irrigating 3 times a week, a ½ inch each time. Luckily, as the month of June went on, the temps fell back down to the 70s and 80s range and we started getting lots of rain. As a result, the lawn was thick and green. To enhance the beauty, I put down a N-Ext cocktail from the Green County line that I like to call Soil Improver, which is 6 ounces of humic 12, 6 ounces of RGS, 6 ounces of Aerate, and 6 ounces of D-thatch, all mixed in the same sprayer. This cocktail helps loosen the soil, push deeper roots, enhance nutrient availability, and eat up the thatch that comes from the frequent mowing. As we approached the last week of June, the lawn was green, thick, and standing tall. However, I believed I needed to take it a step further, which brought me to my next, get it, next application that I like to call double dark. It's basically 6 ounces of green effect and 9 ounces of microgreen. These two products contain iron, which lead to the drastically improved plant greening. So I don't know if you can really see it, but this is 12 days after application, and I'm definitely noticing a much darker blue color now, especially with the domination line over here. I know I gloat about that all the time, but the domination is real. Like, seriously. Wouldn't you do the same thing if this is what your lawn looked like compared to the neighbors? I'm just saying. Anyway, look at how beautiful this color is. Nice blue, got a little bit of green up there. It's all good. Nice and thick, a little bit of blue in there. Looking good. After 4th of July, Alan and I got together for a fun little reunion that we do every year, and during that time we applied more Milo, only this time we backed the rate down to 8 ounces per thousand, which delivered us 0.5 pounds of nitrogen. In addition, we also applied more air rate to the lawn to help maintain quality soil for deeper roots.
How's my hair look, Jake? My hair look good?
It's good.
Does it look like it's ready for the camera?
Yes. 5 days later, I followed up with more RGS at 6 ounces per thousand on my front lawn to push those roots deeper. To be honest, it was just an excuse for me to play around with my orthodilane spray. This is actually why my lawn looks the way it does, because I mow it tall, I mow it frequently, and I also change up the direction every now and then, so I'm training it to naturally stand up straight no matter which direction I mow it. And I'm also fertilizing monthly with Milorganite, and I'm also irrigating only when needed, which has been very rare this year due to all the cooler temperatures and rain we've been getting. As we approach the last week of July, I applied a cocktail of more air rate and microgreen to maintain that soil quality for deeper roots, and also give the lawn a dose of the micros, which is important to keep things balanced. In early August, temps rose up to the 80s and 90s range and rain decreased. As a result, the lawn was a little dry, so I supplemented areas I could with irrigation. To be more specific, I watered 3 times a week, ½ inch each time, like I addressed earlier. As we approached the end of August, temps were in the 90s and the humidity was very high. As a result, I noticed more disease lesions as well as some moth activity, which I believe was coming from sod webworm. So to compensate, I applied a class 3 fungicide, which was propiconazole 14.3, and I applied that at a low rate of 1 ounce per thousand, and I applied a liquid insecticide known as bifenthrin, and I put that down at 1/4 ounce per thousand square feet. Halfway through September, I obtained a new product called Hydrotane, which helps the lawn better retain moisture in the long run. I applied Hydrotane to my lawn at 6.4 ounces per thousand, or the best way to say it would be I applied 1 full bottle across this entire 5,000 square foot area, which, if you guys don't know, is my front lawn and side lawn. 3 days later, I followed up with my 4th app of Milorganite at 10 pounds per thousand, and an application of N-Ext Green County Green Start 901 at 16 ounces per thousand. When you do the math, you come to learn these two products provide a total of just under 3/4 pound of nitrogen, which is a little over the border, but totally adequate. At the beginning of October, I noticed more lesions, so to compensate, I applied a second fungicide app, which again was the class 3 propiconazole 14.3% at 1 ounce per thousand, because we're coming out of the season, there's no need to go heavy. In addition, I applied the Green County N-Ext Biostimulant Pack, which consisted of RGS, air rate, humic 12, and microgreen, all mixed at 6 ounces per thousand in the same sprayer. 10 days later, I applied my final fertilizer app to the lawn. I did this using Green Punch 1801. This product is 14% urea, which is fast release nitrogen, and the other 4% is ammonia, which is slow release nitrogen, hence the reason I want it. I mostly wanted the fast release nitrogen to ensure the nitrogen is stored in the root system for next season without the need for heat or biological processes to break it down. final task of the year was to keep the leaves off the lawn. Leaves on the lawn, especially during the snow season, will cause long-term damage, so I was sure to keep them off. Although I had a pretty good season, it wasn't complete without Christmas lights. I always use Christmas lights as an opportunity to show that I maintain dominance even in the off-season. It was also a good excuse for me to take all the knowledge I've obtained over the years of doing it and apply it to a bigger site, which brought on the series Christmas Lights at Grandma's House 2018. And of course, because I like to maintain year-round dominance, I was sure to take all my lights down the day after Christmas and stow them away where they'll be ready for next season to do it all again.